He was just a normal salesperson. But one day, while he was on his way to home, his sixth sense dawned out upon him that something was wrong. He didn't know those who were behind this wrong were the most dangerous people of America. But he decided to stop them without caring for consequences, and something really odd happened on that day.
Mind your 99-cent perfume.
Welcome back to Paramount Recaps. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. Let's talk about Michael McCauley, just an ordinary guy living a routine life. Every day, he wakes up, spends some time with his wife, Karen, and their son, Danny. He even helps Danny with his homework before heading out for work. But money's tight, and today, like many others, the family talks about how they're going to manage paying for Danny's tuition. After breakfast, Karen drops Michael off at the train station for his daily commute. He's been taking this same train for 10 years, so he knows the other regular passengers pretty well. Michael works as a life insurance salesman, but today, his world turns upside down when his boss calls him into the office and fires him. Michael tries to explain how he has 2 mortgages, college fees to pay for his son, and only 5 years left until retirement. But it doesn't matter. He's out of a job. With this shocking news weighing on him, Michael doesn't tell Karen about losing his job. Instead, he goes to a bar where he meets up with an old friend, Alex Murphy. Alex used to be Michael's partner back when he was a cop. As they chat, the news on TV talks about a city planner who recently died under mysterious circumstances. Michael admits to Alex that he hasn't told Karen about the job loss yet. They also run into Dave Hawthorne, a former colleague who's now a captain. The conversation turns serious as they discuss how doing the right thing can sometimes get you killed. It's a harsh reality they all understand too well. Back at the station, Michael notices a suspicious guy on a phone call. The guy seems stressed and says he can't do something. At the same time, another regular passenger complains about an unexpected bag check. Then, as if Michael's day couldn't get any worse, someone bumps into him and seems to swipe his phone. Once he's on the train, things get stranger. Michael overhears bits of phone conversations that suggest something big is going to happen tonight. The train is filled with its usual passengers, but among them are a distressed woman, a couple arguing, and a loud guy in a fancy suit. When a girl politely asks the loud guy to quiet down, he snaps at her about her cheap perfume. Then, Michael meets Joanna, a mysterious woman who sits next to him. She offers him a deal. There's $25,000 hidden on the train, and if Michael can find a specific passenger who doesn't belong, he'll get another $75,000. She gives him a few hints the person he's looking for goes by the name Prin and has something stolen hidden in their bag. Michael needs to find them before the train reaches its last stop at Cold Spring. Joanna also knows that Michael used to be a cop and tells him to keep this a secret. Michael's head is spinning, but his curiosity gets the better of him. He finds the hidden money and considers taking it and running. But before he can decide, a young woman tries to claim the money, but Michael decides to keep it. She then hands him an envelope that contains Karen's wedding ring. This sends a chill down his spine. Michael, desperate to protect his family, borrows a phone from Tony to call his wife and son, but no one answers. He writes a note to Walt, another passenger, asking him to call the police because his family is in danger. Joanna calls him again. Her voice is cold as she warns him that people who try to escape won't make it far. Just as Walt crosses the street to call the police, one of Joanna's henchmen pushes him in front of a speeding bus. Forced to comply with Joanna's orders, Michael must find Prin, place a tracker on their bag, and do so without raising suspicion. He begins surveying the passengers, focusing on a stockbroker who seems out of place. When that leads nowhere, not discouraged, Michael gives him the middle finger and moves on to the girl. He tries talking to her, but she quickly leaves. Michael follows her and finds out she's carrying a bag full of fake IDs for her partner, but she's not the person he's looking for. Michael then convinces the conductor to check all the passengers' bags, using a security scare as an excuse. Amid the chaos, Michael notices a tattooed man heading to Cold Spring. Suspecting him, Michael chases the man. When Michael mentions Prin, the tattooed guy gets defensive and the fight gets intense. But Michael, always thinking ahead, lets the man think he's won so he can secretly slip the tracker into his bag. Catching his breath, Michael answers a call on Tony's phone. It's his son, Alex. Michael spills everything about the mysterious passenger, the money, and the danger his family is in. Then Alex drops a bombshell. A witness named Prin reported seeing 2 men throw a city official to his death. Michael realizes with horror that Prin is marked for death, and he's being set up as the scapegoat. As the train enters a tunnel, the call cuts off, leaving Michael with only 20 minutes before they reach Cold Spring. As the train nears Cold Spring, 2 agents are waiting to take the witness into custody. But Michael's in deep trouble. He's now a suspect. and every move he makes is being watched. He searches the tattooed man's bag and finds personal items along with a missing gun. Then, he hears a phone ringing and follows the sound to discover the tattooed man's lifeless body hidden in the train's underbelly. Michael's heart sinks as he realizes the man was an FBI agent. Joanna calls again, blaming Michael for the agent's death, but promising his family's safety as long as he cooperates. Just before she hangs up, Michael hears a man's voice on Karen's phone, claiming he's at their house on Michael's behalf. Joanna warns him to stay on the train and stay hidden, but things go from bad to worse when the train suddenly stops for an investigation after some passengers grow suspicious of Michael's behavior. As the police begin searching the train, Michael hides with the dead agent. When he can't open the door, he makes a daring crawl underneath the moving train, losing the money bag in the process. All he has left is a single $100 bill. Michael McCauley is in a tough spot and takes drastic action by shutting off the AC in every train car except the last one, forcing all the passengers to move there. He then joins a card game with two passengers, trying to gather information. After a failed attempt to get answers from one guy, Michael opens up to Tony, sharing that he's lost his job and hasn't told his wife yet. He talks about a rogue passenger with a suspicious bag, reflecting his own situation. When asked if he'd take the money, Michael shocks Tony by admitting he already has. As he keeps a close watch on 5 potential suspects for the mysterious Prin, he crosses one off his list and follows a guitarist named Oliver into an empty car, continuing his search. But here's the twist: Oliver isn't the mysterious Prin. Instead, he's a hitman sent by Joanna to eliminate Prin. A brutal fight breaks out between Oliver and Michael, with things getting intense as they smash a window. Oliver tries to throw Michael out of the moving train, but Michael turns the tables and throws Oliver out instead. Joanna, who's been watching everything, calls Michael and instructs him to grab Oliver's gun. Michael had already ruled out the girl with the colorful hair, so he focuses on a Hispanic woman named Eva, who has been receiving a lot of messages. Thinking she might be Prin and possibly in contact with Joanna, Michael confronts her, but Eva, terrified, confesses that she's only been texting her boyfriend, trying to patch things up in their relationship. It's another dead end for Michael. In a sudden realization, Michael recalls a quiet young woman who had switched seats earlier. Annoyed by another passenger, she's been keeping to herself, listening to music, unaware of the chaos around her. That's when it hits him she's Prin. Her real name is Sophia. Joanna isn't done with Michael. She calls him again, demanding he hand over Sophia or face worse consequences, but Michael refuses to cooperate. Joanna warns him that she works for powerful people, threatening that everyone on the train will die if he doesn't comply. Desperate, Michael asks the conductor, Sam, to pull the emergency brakes, but instead of stopping, the brakes explode. The train speeds past Cold Springs, where FBI agents are waiting, with no sign of slowing down. To make matters worse, the engineer is dead due to Joanna's earlier sabotage. With no way to stop the train, Michael and Sam attempt to detach their car from the rest of the train. They manage to do it, but a chain still connects the cars. As Michael jumps across to the other car, just in time, they cut the chain, and Michael barely makes it back to the rear car, while Sam is left behind in the wreckage. Red Shirt, a fellow passenger, saves Michael from falling as the car skids to a stop at the edge of a train yard. Chaos erupts, but Michael quickly takes control. He fires his gun to get everyone's attention and orders the passengers to cover the windows with newspapers and water for protection. The focus shifts back to Sophia. What could she possibly have that these villains want so badly? Sophia reveals that she's carrying a flash drive with critical information her friend, a city planner, had. The information is so dangerous that it could get people killed. She also reveals that the killers are actually cops. She overheard one of them talking about being noble, and the only person she confided in was Agent Garcia. The police show up. They mistakenly believe that Michael is holding the passengers hostage. Among the police is Dave, Michael's former colleague. Dave tries to talk Michael into surrendering over the loudspeaker. Then Alex, Michael's old friend, arrives on the scene, trying to smooth things over. But Michael isn't buying it. As Michael helps some of the passengers leave the train, he has a conversation with Alex that changes everything. Alex repeats the phrase, "There's no such thing as noble," something Sophia mentioned earlier. That's when Michael realizes Alex is involved in the conspiracy. At first, Alex denies it, but he eventually admits that he set Michael up, knowing that he needed the money. Despite his betrayal, Alex suggests that Michael surrender to protect his family. Reluctantly, Michael hands over his gun. But things aren't over yet. Alex starts searching for Prin among the passengers, and in a surprising twist, all the passengers claim they are Prin to protect Sophia. But it leads to another violent fight between Michael and Alex. The cops outside, thinking Michael is the threat, aim their guns at him. In a quick move, Michael manages to swipe Alex's tracking device and trick the police. Alex pulls out his gun, prompting Dave to order a sniper to take him down. The SWAT team moves in quickly, and soon after, Agent Garcia arrives, bringing some much-needed relief. He informs Michael that his family is safe and that 3 men have been arrested outside his house. Sophia cooperates with the FBI, giving a witness statement. Michael and his family share a heartfelt reunion, with Michael giving his wife back her wedding ring. He also talks with Dave, who reveals that they'll be investigating Alex's possible accomplices further. Dave even invites Michael to return to his old job as a detective. Sometime later, we see Michael on a train again, but this time he's facing Joanna. Michael suspects that she had a hand in his firing, and that putting Sophia on the train was all part of her plan. When Joanna asks what Michael's next move is, he simply pulls out his detective badge, hinting that he's ready for whatever comes next.